what I experienced, this is what we're here to do. We're here to create reality. That is our purpose. You know, some people say serve God, but God is the creator, and we are, servants of God, and thus we are here to create.
Welcome to my channel, Geoffrey.
Thank you so much.
Today you want to talk about speaking reality into existence.
Yes, I stumbled across this exercise during a 40-day challenge, and I was desperate to accomplish my goal. So the last week I was like, I'll do anything. And everyone says like, do gratitude, right? And do affirmations. And so, okay, I was like, I'll do gratitude for 2 hours a day for this last week, right? I'll just do it and see what happens. So what happened was I went for these walks where I would do 2 hours of gratitude a day in the morning time. And I would do an affirmation. So these were gratitude affirmation exercises. And I would say, I'm so full of gratitude now that I have a cup of coffee, or I'm so full of gratitude that I am fluent in Japanese, stuff like that. And, I really felt connected to the understanding of how to create reality. At the moment, I'm alone in Okinawa, so I have no sexual relationship. So my sexual energy is being cultivated and maintained. I've opened my heart and I've forgiven all of those who have hurt me and for every hurtful thing that I may have done to myself or others. And I'm using gratitude affirmations because gratitude allows us to open our heart. And I am, which is what you use for affirmations, is the strongest 2 words that you can use for your subconscious mind in any language, whether it be watashi wa in Japanese or I am in English. And so when I said, I am full of gratitude, for this cup of coffee. Yeah, so I would really, and I was going for walks too, right? So my blood was really pumping. Our body is a battery of energy. And so it gets our blood pumping when we exercise, but this was light exercise. So I could still think, I could still breathe properly and speak. So, and what I did is I went next to the ocean where I could speak with my man voice and I could feel the resonant frequency inside my body. I could feel my chest resonate with thoughts of, I am full of gratitude. I can feel it. When you kind of whisper here, it's just like, you feel a little vibration here. But when you speak as a man speaks or as a woman contained in your body vessel, your whole chest will vibrate. And that's what we do. That's how you speak reality into creation. You combine the heart and the mind, and then you use your voice to impress upon the formless substance. Air is all molecules, right? Just like this bottle is molecules. You can see it squishing. So that's what we're doing. We're impressing our will upon the formless substance. And it's the same thing that happens in the air, is the molecules are changed by the vibration of our voices. So yeah, what happened is I was in total alignment. And then so I went for a walk for about 2 hours for a week each day. And usually After about the first hour, I think what it was is my mind got bored. And so I would start to think in pictures. So maybe for the first hour, I was just saying, like, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful, whatever. But then something changed after the first hour inside of me, and I would see in pictures. And so I was seeing these pictures, and I was now describing the reality I saw in my mind. And I would say, I'm so full of gratitude that I am fluent in Japanese. And I would see myself speaking in Japanese.
Yeah, I love that. Um, what came up to my mind now is actually that you mentioned about vibration. When we talk, we are creating this vibration ourselves, and that's how we communicate with the substance that you're mentioning about. And it just came into my mind about what Bob was teaching about, you know, go up to that frequency, that vibration. And in order to attract what you want, you have to go up to that frequency that you want. And it just clicked to me that you're using your vibration that you can create yourself to communicate on the frequency that you want. Like I want to be fluent in Japanese, and if by saying it, you are like kind of making yourself infused with that vibration.
Yeah, I completely, that's exactly what I was doing. But I realized there's one flaw in a lot of these teachings. It's that we're taught to ask, believe, and receive. And I believe there's a problem with the first word. And tell me what your thoughts are. But I don't agree that we ask. We must declare in present tense that which we desire. So we must make a declaration. So in these gratitude affirmations, I was making declarations of things that I was grateful for, whether it be I am full of gratitude for all the money that I've attracted in my life. But you can do it, into the future. I'm full of gratitude for my abundant year this year. I'm full of gratitude. And that declaration is going to be much stronger, because if you ask a question, right, the universe can always say no. So there's always this seed of doubt in your mind that maybe this can't happen, or maybe the answer will be no, or maybe the answer will be, I'll give you half now and half later. No. So that's why we make a declaration.
Mm.
Like it's the same thing when you order at a restaurant. You say, I will please have the steak tartare, or I will please have the Caesar salad. You impress upon the formless substance.
Mm.
You don't say, I was wondering if I could maybe have like you can, because they're humans and they understand, but right, you're really making a declaration. I've decided I want this. I will have this. You don't go to a restaurant and make that declaration and then expect to maybe receive half of a salad or something else.
That is very true. I think what stops people from doing that, like gratitude affirmation, could be that what you mentioned, like the doubts that they have in their mind. What if I can't have it? And what they are afraid of is probably the fear of disappointing themselves. What would you say to those people?
Well, that's why we need to change it from ask, believe, receive to declare. You just make a declaration. And we're doing this within an I am affirmation. So you're saying, I am full of gratitude now that I have a cup of coffee. Yeah.
They feel with the certainty.
Yeah, say it with certainty, right? And
Mm,
I would say a lot of teachers want you to study, 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 right? And I think one of the reasons for that is because that's how they make their money. You know, they want you to study their material so you buy more material. But I'm just trying to give it to you real and raw is we're not on planet Earth to study how to create. We're here to create our life. You know, you get one shot in this special vessel, this body, and we might be reincarnated, but that doesn't matter. We're here now to create reality and enjoy creation. You know, we're not here to practice for life. We're here to show up and do it. You know, as Yoda would say, there is no try. There is either do or do not. So this exercise is really for people who are ready to do. You know, a lot of yoga people always like to say like my morning practice, you know. So people say like, you know, study and practice. I'm here to say do. You know, it's time, especially if you've been studying the law of attraction and all this information for a while. Start doing. That's what will change your life because people who are dealing with uncertainty like your question, it's because they haven't made a decision, right? So we just need to start doing and make that declaration. I will have this and it will come to me. You just have to decide.
mm. Yeah, it makes total sense that you said ask, believe, and receive. And in order to believe what you're saying yourself is by experiencing that that happens. Like with even tiny thing, like I'm grateful for a cup of coffee, or I'm grateful for like small thing. And then you see yourself manifesting it. And then you start believing more and more by doing, like you said, by experiencing it in your life rather than just thinking in your head or just studying the materials and not doing.
Yeah, we just need to practice. And a lot of people, myself included, for a long time, I followed what the teachers said, right? And I spoke my gratitude into the mirror. I had my list of gratitude and I had my list of affirmations, and I would either say it to myself throughout the day, or I would listen to it in my earphones, or I look at myself in the mirror. But that's not living in the present moment. So that's not getting your heart involved and your mind involved. We need to connect these two. When you're just passively listening or something else, you're creating a barrier. So what we need to do is stream of consciousness. You know, that's the great thing about exercise is it gets you in the moment. So when you're in the moment and you express gratitude, it's real. It's a stream of consciousness that's real. And you can sort out thoughts. You know, you might have a couple of thoughts and you're going to say, actually, I'm not grateful for that. So I should focus on the next thing that comes into my stream of consciousness. You know, so that's what I was doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, actually, I've been doing the affirmation in front of the mirror and also writing down my affirmations, but I just didn't feel right. Like I don't know why. And then after we chat about, you know, your gratitude affirmation, I go for a walk and I listen to my affirmations while I'm walking around, and I actually had the feeling that I'm gonna, like, I can do it. Like I felt the excitement for it. So it totally makes sense for me that your heart and mind have to be involved. And I think it depends on the person, but personally for me as well, my feeling wasn't there when I'm doing in the mirror or just writing down my affirmations.
Right. And we keep going back to this cup of coffee, right? I keep saying I'm grateful for this cup of coffee, but I'll tell you now exactly how I would do it.
Mhm.
So when I be doing my exercise, I'm walking and I'm doing stream of consciousness, right? And I have this cup of coffee in my mind now. And I would say, I'm full of gratitude for this cup of coffee. I'm so grateful that it's brown and mixed with almond milk. I'm so full of gratitude for the farmers who grew this cup of coffee. I'm so full of gratitude that I got a large size. I'm full of gratitude for the flavor, which is a bitter, chocolatey with a bit of sweet, um, you know, creamy flavor. I'm so full of gratitude for the warm cup in my hand. So when you do that, you're really describing everything about it.
Mm.
You know, in my old gratitude, I would just say, I'm so grateful for my house, which has 4 rooms in it. You know, but when you're feeling it in that moment, you can see it in your mind and you describe everything about that cup of coffee
Wow.
that gets it to you, right? Because I'm doing stream of consciousness, and at that point, I'm just focused on that cup of coffee. So I'm excited. It feels good. I like coffee. You know, I don't even drink coffee, but I'm sure now I'm gonna manifest it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because we often talk about like mindfulness, and when you're drinking your coffee, you feel the scent and you feel the taste and the feeling of the cup and all that. But we can also do that in our imagination. So we can do that in our gratitude exercise. That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And even if you can't imagine what a cup of coffee tastes like, you can use your memories, you
Mm.
know. So like, oh, and then you speak that into reality. You don't say, I remember this cup of coffee tasted like that. If Yeah, but you can, you can use this gratitude affirmation exercise for anything. And my mind would jump from present moment to past reality back in high school, like an experience. Like, I'm so full of gratitude for that music I played in high school. That was such a great moment. I'm so full of gratitude. Like, oh my, because you're in the vibration of gratitude. And, I'm so full of gratitude for that person I got to meet last week. Like, oh my God, he was so incredible and so kind to me. So you're in that aura. Maybe you see that person again, maybe you play more music, but, and yeah, just do the stream of consciousness so that you're not getting hung up on doing the same routine, because your mind and your heart are not connected to the same routine. Your mind gets bored.
Mm. That's that's really interesting that you need to think about all the details that of the things that you want, even just the coffee. And I think we did touch about like your mind and feeling had to be involved, but why is it important for people to do gratitude exercise with the details and all the sense?
I believe that's what we're here to do. And if you have a problem with happiness, you must increase your gratitude. That's it. Because you're not realizing the incredible life that you already have. I saw a meme like last week, and it said, if you're not grateful for what you already have, what makes you think you're going to be happy with more?
Mm.
And that hit me. Actually, that's what kicked off my gratitude exercise. It's like, oh shit, I've been saying gratitude in the morning to myself in the mirror, but I've been reading off of a sheet of paper. Like, I need to 10x my gratitude. And so that's what kicked me off. 2 hours a day doing gratitude, and it will change your life.
Mm.
So I'm going to keep trying it, and I'm going to keep learning from it. I only did it for like 6 days in a row, maybe 7 days in a row. And like I said, yeah, I would go walk next to the ocean where I could really use my full voice, and I would go early in the morning. So there was like, you know, a few people, but even then, when I encountered people, I would say, I'm full of gratitude that I can release my greatness. I'm full of gratitude that I'm confident to try new things that may seem crazy to other people. I'm so full of gratitude that all these people are understanding of my journey or my expansion, you know? So even, yeah, because sometimes you feel a little bit like self-conscious, maybe if somebody looks at you while you're doing gratitude. And I
Mm.
just had to be grateful for that. Like, I'm so full of gratitude that you understand what I'm doing, or that you know, whatever. You just gratitude people away. Like, yeah.
Gratitude people, yeah, I love that. What
And so this same exercise would probably work on like a treadmill or a stationary bike as well. You know, I wouldn't suggest uh, you know, visualizing when you're like driving a car, but you could always do gratitude when you're driving a car. Some people drive, you know, half an hour or, you know, an hour a day.
mm.
So it's a good time for gratitude for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking because you've done 2 hours a day for like a week, and
Yeah.
many people probably think that, oh, I don't have 2 hours a day to do that, or things like that. And where can this start with?
First of all, you do have 2 hours a day, but you are mismanaging your activities in the day, because what I experienced, this is what we're here to do. We're here to create reality. That is our purpose. You know, some people say serve God, but God is the creator, and we are, you know, servants of God, and thus we are here to create. This is our job. What else are you doing? You can do it in the shower every day. You can do it while you're brushing your teeth. You know, you can, if you have kids, do it in the morning when you're making breakfast with your kids. Um, you know, say, I'm so grateful my kids eat a healthy breakfast. I'm so full of gratitude that I can send them off with love. You know, when you're driving your kids to school, I'm so full of gratitude that I'm driving my kids to school safely. And like, who cares? Like, they'll love it, I'm sure. Get them involved. Then you can say, okay, Johnny, what are you grateful for? You know, yeah.
Yeah, I love that, integrating that into our daily life that we already have, like with the routine that we already have, and we can just introduce gratitude more. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, I'm in Japan at the moment, and everyone here in society is gratitude. But truly, this exercise helped me connect on a much deeper level of awareness, you know, of being fully present in that moment and expressing my gratitude with my mouth onto the formless substance. It's incredible.
Mm.
I'm gonna keep going, and maybe I'll come back in like a month or 2 months or something and share my other lessons, see how it's shifted. But it was quite incredible, just that experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I know you've done only for a week, but what have you manifested in the week, or after you started this gratitude exercise?
Okay, so after the first day, I immediately started manifesting things, and I could feel it in my energy, right? Because I was staying in a hotel and I left in one way. I went to go do gratitude for 2 hours, and I came back to my hotel, and it was like I could literally feel my energy was different from my hotel room. It was the strangest thing. It was like my vibration had shifted, and I was impressing my vibration against the walls in my hotel room. That was super crazy. And then I was very grateful for something. Um, it was like a certain action that people do. And I saw it in the grocery store. yeah, so it was, you know, just like the way a woman might flip her hair, so it goes like a wave, you can kind of see it in slow mo.
Mm.
And like, I think it was the second day after I did my gratitude exercise, I would go to the grocery store and somebody does that. And I'm like, oh my God, like I just said that in my gratitude about how I liked that and how I thought it was really beautiful, and I saw it immediately. Another thing, I said, I'm learning Japanese and I didn't believe I was fluent, but that's my desire. And so I said, I'm so full of gratitude that I'm fluent in Japanese. I'm so full of gratitude that I speak Japanese with Nihonjin who can't understand English. I'm so full of gratitude that I've met kind Japanese people who will help me with my Japanese. And I think it was on day 4, I met a lady who didn't speak any English and invited me the next day to go to an island in Okinawa. And for 6 hours, we trekked around this island, hiking up boulders and looking at things on the beach. And I spoke Japanese for 6 hours with someone who spoke no English. Yeah, I'm sure there's other things too that I'm just not even thinking of at this moment. But yeah, those are a few things that I manifested like immediately. It was incredible.
Wow. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it feels really good to get in that heart space.
Mm. Yeah, when we started out, you mentioned about forgiving others and also yourself. How does gratitude relate to forgiveness?
The exercise I used to forgive people is I would lay down in bed and I would take my right hand and I would put it on my heart. And I would go through my thoughts or people that it's not hard to find people that you're angry with in your mind, because it's usually a recurring thought, like I'm so angry at my cousin for kicking me when I was like 6 years old. And so, like, going through and really, like, I forgive my cousin. I forgive myself for being in that moment. And forgiveness means to let go of completely. And so you just, you say that, and then it's almost like you hug that memory and you share love with that memory, you know,
Mm.
like I forgive my cousin completely. I forgive myself. I forgive my ex for cheating on me. I forgive them. I let it go completely. I let it go. I forgive myself for being cheated on. I forgive myself for being in the relationship with someone who didn't want to be with me. I forgive myself. I forgive myself for not being wanted. Whatever. I think it's so important. But gratitude is so powerful that you can't be angry and grateful at the same time. I think other teachers teach it better than I am right now, but I think studies have been done on it as well. When you're in a place of gratitude, that is the strongest, force. That's the strongest kind of attitude you can be in. And then to add an I am statement, which is the strongest subconscious statement you can make, like that is you connected with God, with the universe. That is your connection. It's so cool to feel, right? Because my voice is deeper. And I let my voice get deeper as well, with the control of my sexual energy. So I allowed my voice to lower into my root chakra and stuff like that. and be grateful for things down there. So I could feel my whole chamber vibrating. It's quite incredible, the human form.
Mm.
If you don't know about chakras, they're spinning wheels of energy from the Vedic and Indian tradition from India. And I would also say I'm so full of gratitude that my chakras are all in harmony. And then, yeah, they all started working together. Source got me to do the exercise. So that's my crown. I would hold a mental picture. That's my third eye. I would connect it with my heart. That's my heart chakra. And then I would speak it. That's my throat chakra. I would contain my sexual energy. So that's my root chakra. And the sacral, I would go for a walk. And or my the yellow one, I can't remember what it's called, my energy center. I would go for a walk, so I was exercising, and then I would speak about my community and what I was grateful for. I'm so grateful I met this person, so I would feel all the alignment of all my chakras at the same time with this exercise. So I was divinely connected to God, myself, and the outside world through this exercise.
Wow.
I feel that way, that a lot of these coaches are great, but they never tell you that you've graduated. And so I think if you've been studying self-development for long enough, you need to tell yourself, I've graduated and I need to create reality. I don't need to study. I don't need to practice. I need to just do it. We all have to make that shift when we've said, like, okay, I've been studying this for 4.5 years. That's the same as like, a university education. Like, I can graduate now and just create reality. I have all that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I experienced it myself, that I was addicted to studying, not taking actions on anything, implementing anything. Because when you're studying, you feel like you're getting more knowledge and you feel like you're growing. But actually you're not, because you're just addicted to studying and you're not taking actions. You're not actually making your life better.
Yeah. And talking about action, every movement of our finger is an action, right? Every word we speak is an action in the universe. It's not just a phone call to one person. It's not just a list of gratitude that we say for 10 minutes in the morning. It's every single word we put out into the universe. Every single movement of the finger, every time we dance, every time we feel good, that is the action, And they say to monitor your thoughts and stuff like that, but it's really also about the physical actions. And I think the Japanese are really good at that too. They get really involved in their work and very passionate. And no matter what you are, if you're the garbage man or if you're Jiro, the top sushi chef in Tokyo, these people do that job with focus and passion. There's a word in Japanese that is ikigai. And it's when your passion meets what society needs from you, meets what you're good at, meets what you're paid for. So that's when all those things meet. It's called ikigai. And this is going to be uncomfortable for some people, but we have to talk about it. And that is your sexual energy. Your sexual energy is so powerful, right? Between ovaries and testicles, that brings a soul into the physical form, right? So the energy you use to have sex is so powerful that men do not waste your sexual energy extemporaneously. Harness your energy, and it can feel very uncomfortable, but that we need to do that, you know? So don't just release all the time, you know? Start to learn about your sexual energy and hold it in, and also know when to release that energy as well. But really get more comfortable for that. In women, I think I'm not a woman, but from what I understand that I've studied is often women suppress their sexual urges until maybe they reach about 50 and they have no sexual desire anymore, right? So it's also important that as both men and women, we cultivate our desire. You know, it's like a fire, and we don't want to put water on the fire until the fire goes out, and we don't want a blazing hot wildfire either. We want a nice contained fire, you know, throw a log on there a couple times a day or whatever, so that the fire is always burning brightly. Yeah. I think that, and people talk about that often, is the transmutation of sexual energy. I just think that's important, you know, that we men, you know, we learn to contain our energy more, put it kind of in a container, and don't just suppress it either, but release it at the right time. And the same thing with women. Make sure you cultivate your sexual energy, allow yourself to be aroused, and then transmute that energy into your work or your gratitude exercise, because it's very powerful. You know, that is our connection to the physical plane. You know, this is the thought world, and the root chakra. That's the connection to the physical plane. And that's where your reproductive organs are. You know, that's the sexual energy, is at the root chakra and the sacral chakra.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and especially in Asian culture, or at least in Japan, as a woman, you're not supposed to express your sexuality. You're not even like, you shouldn't even talk about it. And like you said, it's often suppressed. So mm.
Yeah, and a lot of Japanese marriages are sexless as well. I think it's like 80% of Japanese marriages, there's no sex in the marriage. And so it's important that it's about the individual too. You know, we can't just listen to society's rules for us, because that doesn't work.
Mm.
We must, as individuals, cultivate our own sexuality and sexual desire. But it's about control, you know. I I'm sorry I don't know more, but I know that, like, in Taoism, like from China, they talk a lot about, it's not just the suppression, it's about the cultivation and management of your energy, of your chi, you know. And also, like, in a lot of martial arts, they say, you know, man, do never release your sexual energy. But I mean, that's a very yang aspect. So we want to match the yin and the yang together. So yes, we need to cultivate it, manage it, and also release it at the right time, but not all the time. And don't suppress it, you know, just cultivate it and release it at the correct time.
Mm. Yeah, I like the word you use, cultivate, because it creates a picture in my mind where I'm taking care of a plant, for example. I need to give enough amount of water and good amount of sunlight. It has to be like all balanced. It shouldn't be too much of anything.
Yeah.
Mm, that makes sense.
Yeah. And if you don't feel comfortable talking about sex or sexual energy, that's okay. It's okay for anybody out there that this may feel uncomfortable. That's okay. And if you want to heal yourself, there are many different healing techniques to heal your root chakra, whether it be like, you know, audios on YouTube, or you can also do a focused meditation where you put your hands on your root chakra and you just say, who do I need to forgive? I forgive myself for the mistakes I've made. I forgive my ex-girlfriend and my ex-boyfriend for that time or this thing, or yeah. I forgive my family members for when I felt unstable. Yeah. The goal is happiness, health, and wealth in all things. So, yeah.
What can people do after watching this interview?
Find yourself a time to go practice this gratitude exercise. Go out in nature or go walk on a treadmill for a while and connect your mind with your heart through saying, I am full of gratitude. I am thankful for, and give it a try. And don't be bashful about it. Don't whisper it. Really get your vibration into it, right? Because we're using our throat chakra to vibrate our whole body and impress our vibration into the formless substance. So the question I would ask you is, how bad do you want that thing that you want? What are you willing to do? This is the action part. This is one action part that we can take that is very strong. There's others like picking up the phone to the right person, like things we know we should do. But if you want to do something you don't know what to do, this is a great exercise to get you closer.
Yeah, it was really concrete, and I could imagine myself doing it. And how you explained it was like really, really like in details, and yeah, it was just it just made it easier for me myself to do it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
someone has come before and done this. And that's the thing is, in a lot of different traditions, they do this. In a lot of different traditions, in the Bible, they say, when two become one, when the heart and the mind become one, and the Hermetica, Hermes Trismegistus talks about this as well, connecting the mind and the heart. There's, different places that talk about, all these different traditions that talk about connecting the mind and the heart as one and speaking as one. In yoga, you're connecting the physical world with the world of the inner. And, yeah.
Mm.
When a lot of people smoke marijuana or do certain drugs, they release their mind and connect it with their heart and their body. A lot of people do the same with alcohol to turn off their frontal lobe. They want to turn with alcohol and just live from their heart space. So it's the same thing. But this is, to me, this is the out of body experience that we're looking to do, is to create reality in real time. So this is just another way to do it that doesn't involve drugs or drinking or anything like that. That's the thing about your personal gratitude, is that you should experiment, right? Because like I was getting so bored sometimes of just saying I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. So then I said I am thankful, and then I am full of gratitude. And I felt like when I say gratitude, that resonates lower because of the D. I am full of gratitude versus I am grateful, or I am grateful. Yeah, I am grateful. I am full of gratitude. It's almost like a deeper resonance with the D. So it's just interesting, play around. This gratitude exercise is just one piece of the puzzle.
Mm.
And this is the yang, right? This is the yang. This is not the time to receive. This is the time to, it can be the time to receive. This is the time we put it out there. And then in order to receive, you should have like deep, comfortable sleep and also meditation. And, don't be thinking thoughts your whole day. Try and have your mind be empty and open to whatever's coming to you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
And of course, if you see that your thing manifesting that you did in your gratitude, go up and receive it. You might have to take a little bit of action to receive it there. If you see your favorite dress that you've been trying to manifest, like, don't just say, oh, there it is. Like, go up buy it if you have the cash. If not, just give it a big hug or something like that and say, oh my God, this is it. I've manifested it. So reinforce that in your own brain and in your heart, that here it is. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. Like feel it. That's what the masters always talk about, is getting the feeling involved.
Mm.
And so that's why it's important to exercise. Your heart is really pumping at that moment. And then you say gratitude, and it's creating this giant aura, this electromagnetic field. Our heart is the electromagnetic center of our universe, our little reality. As Einstein says, reality is relative to the observer, which is me, which is you. That's Einstein's theory of relativity. Einstein's E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the velocity of light. So he's saying energy and mass, they are the same. That's his equation. E equals mc squared, right? So we're all, this mass that I am is just energy. It's all vibration.
Yeah, I never connected voices. It is vibration, but I never thought of using this vibration to get to that frequency that I want. Yeah, it's really powerful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the heart center, they're called chakras. They're called energy centers. That's the translation of chakras, energy center. And they each have a different purpose. The heart is the electromagnetic center. It creates a pulse, tutum, tutum, tutum. That's sending out those vibrations. And then you fine tune it with your voice, with the semantics of language and sound. My friend asked me, like, where do you find the time or commitment to do it? I'm just like, what else in life are we supposed to do? What else is more important than creating a positive self-image and a reality full of gratitude? Like, what's more important than creating your physical reality in a happy, healthy way? Happy, healthy, wealthy way. What's more important? To me, it wasn't an exercise. It was a revelation of, oh, this is the way to create reality. This is it. It wasn't an exercise or a practice. It's like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to live every moment of my life, full of this much gratitude. I'm supposed to say I am. I'm supposed to hold a picture in my mind and then impress it on the formless substance. I was like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what humans are supposed to do. We're not supposed to, like, I'm so worried about this thing, and like I'm sitting in here in line to get my coffee. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to create reality with pictures and an open heart, gratitude.